saving Private Dumpy. I hope and I pray that I'm going to be successful in this mission. So is Lil Dumpy going to die? Is this going to be the end of Lil Dumpy? Well, I can't tell you for certain whether or not this disease he's having right now will kill him or not. But I can tell you it looks kind of good. It doesn't look like it's very serious, but I do want to run you guys through basically what's been happening over this last week and a half. So when I first found Lil Dumpy, he was really slowed down. He was tilted on his side, and at first I thought he was just kind of bloated up, but then I realized, okay, maybe this guy's actually having an infection, because I looked at his side and I saw some red undertones on his right side. And when you see some red undertones on the side of a goldfish and he's kind of slowed down, that could mean there's an infection brewing on that side. And he was also tilted in on that side, so I was getting kind of worried. So I put him in his own hospital tank, and just in case it was some sort of bloat, it's kind of better to have the tank not be all the way full, because the lower the water level is, the lower the water pressure is. So I let the level be pretty low, and then I put a heater in there, I put some air stones in there, and I also increased the temperature to around 83 degrees Fahrenheit. I actually did this over a couple days. One, you don't want to shock the fish by increasing it too fast, and the reason I increased it to 83 was one, because it helps, the higher temperatures do kind of help boost the metabolism and immune system of the fish, and if they're bloated or constipated or to have gas, it kind of helps push that out faster, because that was a possibility for off swimming. I also added some methylene blue to this tank because there's no biological filtration in here right now. It's just a hospital tank. Whenever you have a hospital tank, it's good to add in some methylene blue, because methylene blue helps detoxify the ammonia and the nitrite, and it also helps increase oxygen uptake, which is something that is kind of hindered with such higher temperatures. The antibiotics I decided to go with was metronidazole and nitrofurazone. I did 1 scoop of the metronidazole and then half a packet of the nitrofurazone, just because this was basically around a 5-gallon filled up tank. So after the whole hospital tank was set up, he was kind of still and not moving very much, but after giving him some adjustment time, he started getting a little more active. I then fed him some boiled and deshelled peas. I love feeding boiled and deshelled peas to any sick goldfish. For one, it just helps them poop, and two, it gives them something to eat that's not going to produce so much ammonia in the water. There's not that much protein in it, so it's not going to cause that much of an ammonia spike. So I kept doing water changes every 2 days, and at the end of the 24-hour mark, in the middle of each water change, I would actually put a little bit of Fritz Complete, again, to detoxify the ammonia and the nitrite. The best thing you can do for a goldfish in this situation is to keep that water very, very clean, in addition to antibiotics and methylene blue and all those things. I continued feeding him peas, and he never really stopped being hungry. That's never been a problem for Dumpy. You know, Dumpy can be sick, he can be down in the hole, but he'll eat, which is good. Dumpy will always eat. And you know, I kept doing the metronidazole, but then again, I'm not sure if it's really helping, because he still kind of had that redness on his side. He was still not getting too much better. You know, he didn't really change for the 4 days that I had him in there. So I decided that I'd make a medicated feed with the metronidazole, because I figured, you know, if he's eating very well, it might be good to give him some of that medicine directly into his gut, because I've heard for internal problems, if you're trying to treat them and you have antibiotics, it could be even more effective to have it go directly into their mouth and have them eat it. So I decided, okay, I'll medicate his feed, I'll let him eat that, and he gobbled it right up. You know, there's no problem when it comes to Dumpy eating food, sick or not. So after around the 5th treatment, I decided to discontinue the use of the nitrofurazone, just because I was not seeing any results, and I feel like for nitrofurazone, if it's going to be effective to help your fish get better, you usually start seeing some results within a couple days or so. But you know, it was 5 days gone by, and I really saw nothing at all. Typically the metronidazole, they recommend you treat that for a longer period of time. So I decided to stop using the metronidazole, decided to try a different antibiotic. This one's doxycycline hyslate. I can't pronounce these things. You know, I'm not a vet. I really want to stress that. A lot of people think that I'm some aquaculture expert or animal vet technician, whatever. I have no professional experience in fish keeping. This is purely a hobby. The things I know are from my own research online and my own experience as a fish keeper. So I urge you guys, do not take my word like it's the word of God and it's absolutely true. No, do your own research. A lot of what I have to do when I deal with my fish is guesswork and just based on my own anecdotal evidence, and never trust anecdotal evidence, okay? Something kind of cool I noticed by the doxycycline is it makes the water kind of foamy. I don't really know why. I'm going to make a YouTube short video asking that as like a little riddle, why is my water foamy? And you guys that watch this video will actually know the answer to that. Anyway, I noticed after using the doxycycline for a little bit, his energy level definitely went up a little bit. This video is sped up, but I noticed him just swimming around more, looking for more stuff. He still had that tilt in him. He still had that little tilt in him, but I noticed him swimming up higher into the water column and not just being down in the ground the whole time. He was like a little spinning ball, not on the ground, but up in the water as well, which is good. That means there's somewhat of an improvement. Now, I know what you're thinking at this point in the video. Wait, in the beginning of the video, he said he kept the water level halfway up because if there's a physical problem, it kind of helps relieve the stress on the swim bladder, makes it a little easier. Well, the reason I decided to fill the tank back up is because, one, it kind of retains the water quality a little bit longer, and two, if it was truly a physical problem, I feel like after keeping the water warm for 4 or 5 days, keeping the water level low, you start to see some results. And the fact that I didn't see any results from that means it's not just a physical problem. There is something bacterial actually causing this, like I thought from the beginning. But I want to rule as many things out as possible from the start. So as of right now, I do not think that little Dumpy will die from this sickness, whatever it is. However, I cannot guarantee that if something really bad does happen and he does die, that's an absolute possibility. And also, I want to say something really quick. For some of you, it might appear like, oh wow, these fish, they have a lot of problems. Like, am I really okay with being a goldfish keeper if I have to deal with all these sicknesses? And for one, it might seem like these fish get more sick than they actually do because the videos I post of my few goldfish that get sick tend to get the most views. Everyone just loves watching, a fish that gets sick get better, and I like to document that because there's people out there that legitimately face these problems with their fish that want to have some sort of guidance or kind of see what other people do. And I want to be one of those resources, one of many, hopefully, resources that they can kind of look at to see, okay, what's my fish going through? How do I deal with it? I have 40, 50 fish, and only one of them gets sick, every couple months, not even. My last fish to get sick, I think, was Viola, and that was 6 months ago. Unfortunately, she passed, but since then I really haven't had any sick goldfish until now Dumpy, unfortunately. But I don't want anyone to get discouraged thinking, oh man, like I'm not ready to be a full-time vet. If you don't get 50 goldfish, you have one goldfish tank with 2 fish in it, I think you'll be just fine. I don't want to discourage people from getting into this hobby because they think it might be too hard. If you keep it simple, I think you'll be just fine. This concludes the status update of Saving Private Dumpy. I hope and I pray that I'm going to be successful in this mission, and I believe I will be. I can't guarantee it, but I believe I will be. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to press the like and subscribe button. And that's it for today. Luke's Goldies out.